Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be talking about the Unite BPA. It's a really powerful tool you can use to get involved with projects that are funded by the National Science Foundation.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and I know you might be thinking, oh, another government program. More paperwork.
Right.
But stick with us. Okay.
Yes.
We're not just going to be covering like the basics, like, oh, you have to do this to be compliant.
Yeah.
We're going to explore like how to actually make your proposals stand out.
Yeah.
Increase your chances of getting a piece of that $30 million pie.
That's right. Think of this as your secret weapon, You can really get an edge with this. It's a competitive landscape out there.
All right, so let's set the stage a little bit. For anyone who's unfamiliar, could you give us like a quick rundown of what the National Science Foundation is all about?
Yeah. So the NSF, that's what we call it. The NSF, it's a U.S. government agency, and it has a pretty inspiring mission. It's advancing research frontiers, it's fostering a diverse and skilled workforce, and it's strengthening the research infrastructure of the nation.
They do a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot. And they do that by awarding grants and contracts across a range of fields, science and engineering.
Yeah, so they're basically like fueling the engine of, scientific progress in the U.S.
Yeah.
And here's what I think is really exciting. They're actively trying to increase the amount of contracts that are going to small businesses.
Yes.
Small disadvantaged businesses. And that's a game changer, I think, for a lot of our listeners.
Absolutely. And that's where the Unite BPA comes in. They're kind of rolling out the red carpet, making it easier and faster for businesses to work with them.
So, okay, break it down for us. What exactly this BPA? Why should our listeners care?
The Unite BPA stands for Unified Network for Innovative Technology and Engineering Blanket Purchase Agreement.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. It is a mouthful, but it's essentially a streamlined way to procure, to make things go faster for the process. It's a 5-year agreement, $30 million potentially. It creates these avenues for businesses to contribute their expertise to NSF projects.
$30 million. All right, now we're talking some real money here. But I'm assuming it's not just a free-for-all.
No.
There's a process, right?
Yeah. The BPA itself doesn't actually obligate funds up front. Think of it as like an open door to this world of possibilities. The funding comes in through individual orders called task orders, and they're issued under this agreement. And so those task orders outline the specific work that the NSF needs.
Okay.
And that's where you come in.
So the BPA is kind of setting the stage, and then the task orders are like the actual roles that businesses can audition for.
That's a good way to put it.
So what kind of roles are we talking about here? What are these task areas that are, ripe for the picking?
Yeah, there are 8 key task areas covered by the Unite BPA, and each one is really a critical need that the NSF has.
Okay.
So we've got, for example, engineering services. So you might be designing like specialized facilities or equipment, for this really cutting-edge research. Then there's convention and trade show organizers. They're in high demand because the NSF wants to, they want to show up the scientific advancements. They want to have these impactful events. And then there's all other professional, scientific, and technical services. And that's pretty broad, but it covers things like program evaluation and quality assurance, even policy development.
Wow. Okay, so there's truly something for everyone.
Yeah, there really is.
But let's get down to brass tacks here. We know compliance is essential, but what makes a proposal stand out? Like what takes it from, oh, this is compliant to like, oh, wow, this is really compelling. We need to take a look at this.
You need to showcase your value. You need to go above and beyond just the requirements. Show them why your business is the best choice.
Okay. That's easy to say.
Yeah.
But a lot of businesses struggle with that whole like show, don't tell.
Right.
How do you actually nail that?
Corporate experience, that section of the proposal, that's your chance to really shine. Don't just list your services, tell your stories. What are your past successes? Have you been involved in a groundbreaking research project? Have you organized a conference that sparked collaboration? Paint a picture. Show them what you can do.
So it's about highlighting the wow moments that show your capabilities. I imagine that specific examples.
Yes.
Quantifiable data. That's key here.
Hard numbers.
Yeah.
Compelling narratives. That's what makes the proposal stand out.
Okay.
And one thing to keep in mind that the NSF uses specific labor categories.
Right.
So make sure your team maps to those. Show them that you understand their language.
That's smart. Okay, let's talk about pricing for a minute. Is it just a race to the bottom dollar, or are there other factors at play?
It's best value. That's what the NSF uses. So price is important. It's not the only Y factor. They're looking at the whole package: expertise, experience, and price. So you have to be strategic about your discounts. You offer an initial discount in the BPA, But then you can offer further discounts later on in the task orders.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can kind of tailor it.
So you need to kind of be competitive, but also know your value.
Right.
Okay. Now, what about collaboration? Should businesses kind of go it alone, or is there power in numbers?
You know, the NSF, they actually encourage businesses to team up. It's called contractor teaming arrangements, CTAs. And it allows you to pool resources and expertise
Okay.
and go after bigger, more complex projects.
So even if you're a smaller business, you could team up with others and then,
Become a contender.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about, showcasing that unique value. What are some common pitfalls that businesses should avoid?
I think a lot of businesses focus too much on just like general capabilities
Okay.
instead of specific experience. So instead of saying, oh, we're experts in data analysis, highlight a specific project where your data analysis led to a groundbreaking discovery or a cost saving.
Okay, so tailor it to what the NSF actually needs.
Right. Don't be afraid to get granular, Really showcase those achievements.
I like that. All right, so we've talked about like the content.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Oh, the writing. The writing is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The proposal has to be easy to read.
Yeah.
It has to be easy to understand and evaluate, Avoid jargon.
Yeah.
Use strong verbs. Make sure your message is clear. Remember, the reviewers are busy people.
That's such a good point. It's not just about what you say, it's how you say it.
Exactly.
Now, before we move on to kind of exploring each task area in detail.
Actually, I have an idea.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me what task area is most interesting to you?
Ooh.
And that might help our listeners kind of connect with the material and think about where their expertise might fit in.
I love that. Like we're all on this journey of discovery together.
Yeah.
Okay. It's tough to choose, but I think I'm really intrigued by the convention and trade show organizers, because I just think bringing people together to share, these groundbreaking discoveries, that just sounds so rewarding.
It does. It does. What about you? What really sparks your interest?
For me, it's that all other professional, scientific, and technical services, it's just so broad.
Yeah.
And I just think it really speaks to the diverse nature of the NSF's mission.
Yeah.
That there's so many different ways that businesses can contribute to scientific advancement.
Absolutely.
So, listener, think about it.
Yeah.
Which one kind of resonates with you? Where do your passions and your expertise align with what the NSF needs?
Yeah. And this is just the beginning. We're going to explore each task area in more detail. We're going to give you more insights and strategies to craft a truly compelling proposal.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so let's get into some of these task areas.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with one that might surprise you.
Okay.
Administrative management and general management consulting services.
And I have to admit, that sounds a little
Dry?
dry.
I know.
Why should our listeners get excited about administrative tasks?
Because even the most groundbreaking scientific research needs a solid foundation.
True.
Right. So this task area, it falls under professional services, business administrative services, and it's all about helping the NSF operate efficiently and effectively.
Okay.
Strategic planning, performance measurement, risk management, the behind-the-scenes work that keeps things running smoothly.
So if you're a business that thrives on optimizing processes and improving efficiency and ensuring smooth operations,
This could be for you.
yeah, this task area could be a great fit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears to something a little bit more tangible.
Sure.
Engineering services.
Yes.
Under professional services, technical and engineering services. This is where things get really exciting.
This is the heart of it.
Yeah. What are some examples of expertise that's needed here?
So think about all the infrastructure that goes into cutting-edge research.
Oh.
You've got specialized facilities, you've got advanced equipment, state-of-the-art laboratories. The NSF relies on engineering expertise to design and analyze and plan these crucial elements
Wow.
so that researchers have what they need to push those boundaries,
So if you have a proven track record in engineering for scientific endeavors,
Yes.
you could play a critical role in shaping the future of research.
Absolutely.
Talk about impact.
That's impact.
Okay, let's not forget about kind of the wild card of the bunch.
Yes.
All other professional, scientific, and technical services?
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's very broad.
It's broad.
What are some examples of services that fall under that umbrella?
It's quite diverse.
Okay.
So, for example, they might need program evaluation,
Okay.
like assessing the impact of their initiatives.
Right.
They might need help with quality assurance, ensuring that their research projects are meeting the standards.
Okay.
And they even tap into this category for policy development,
Right.
shaping the future of scientific research.
So even if your business has really deep knowledge in a specific scientific or technical field,
Yes,
even if it doesn't fit into those other categories,
that's right.
this one is worth exploring.
Explore it.
Okay, so now let's talk about professional and management development training,
Yes.
which falls under professional services training. So this is all about empowering the NSF workforce
Exactly.
with the knowledge and skills they need to excel.
Give them the tools.
Yeah. What types of training programs might they be looking for?
Oh, it runs the gamut.
Okay.
Specific research methodologies, cutting-edge technologies, project management techniques, leadership development,
Right.
anything that helps them stay ahead of the curve and drive that scientific progress.
I imagine that there's a huge demand for training in things like data science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Those fields that are constantly evolving.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They need their workforce to be equipped with the latest and greatest to tackle these complex challenges of modern science.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's talk about sharing those scientific breakthroughs with the world. That's where convention and trade show organizers comes in.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Part of professional services marketing and public relations.
That's right.
So conferences and trade shows, they're all about bringing people together, sparking new ideas, showcasing the latest and greatest research.
It's like a science fair for grown-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of fun.
So the NSF recognizes the importance of these events
Oh, yeah.
for fostering that collaboration, spreading that knowledge, inspiring the next generation of scientists.
For sure.
So if your business thrives on creating those memorable experiences,
Yes.
facilitating connections,
Yeah.
shining a spotlight on groundbreaking research, this task area is calling your name.
It is.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Managing those administrative processes, providing that crucial engineering expertise, offering those specialized scientific and technical services, empowering the NSF's workforce through training, and then amplifying the impact of scientific discoveries through well-organized events.
You did it.
It's amazing
It's a lot.
how diverse these opportunities are.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the breadth and depth of the NSF's mission
It does.
and all the ways that businesses can contribute. But wait a minute, you said there were 8 task areas.
That's right.
What about the other 3?
We still have to explore the offices within the NSF.
Oh, okay.
The Office of the Director, the National Science Board, the Office of Inspector General, and all those different directorates.
Wow, so it's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
It is.
There's always more to discover.
More and more.
I'm eager to delve into these internal offices and directorates.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see how the NSF is structured and how businesses can contribute at every level.
It's like a treasure map,
Yeah.
leading you to those perfect opportunities.
All right, listener, get ready for the final leg of our journey
Yes.
as we explore the specific needs of the NSF's internal offices and directorates. Who knows, you might just stumble upon your perfect match. Okay, so let's kick off this final part of our journey by exploring the needs of the NSF's internal offices. And I want to start with the Office of the Director.
Yeah,
They're kind of like the brain trust of the organization, right?
you got it. They set the strategic direction for the entire NSF,
Okay.
overseeing agency management operations and long-term planning.
Wow.
They're the ones who make sure that the NSF is fulfilling its mission.
So they're dealing with the big picture stuff.
Yes.
The overarching goals, the strategies.
Exactly.
What kind of expertise would be valuable to an office like that?
They rely heavily on data analysis and strategic consulting.
Okay.
Think about performance measurement.
Right.
You know, how are the programs impacting the scientific landscape? Are they actually achieving what they set out to do?
Right. Are we getting results?
Exactly. And they need experts who can analyze the data, assess those programs, and make recommendations for improvement.
So it's like having this team of brilliant strategists
Yeah,
helping the NSF navigate the complexities of research.
that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so now let's move on to the National Science Board. They're the governing body, so they must have a very unique set of needs.
They do.
What are they?
So the National Science Board, they're also called the NSB. They play a vital role in shaping the priorities of the NSF.
Okay.
So they identify critical issues facing the scientific community. They establish policies for the agency.
Okay.
And they just make sure that the NSF is addressing the most pressing scientific challenges.
They're like the guardians of the mission and vision.
Yes.
So they're not just focused on the day-to-day.
No.
They're looking ahead. They're anticipating those trends, making sure that the NSF stays at the forefront of scientific progress.
Right.
What kind of support do they need to achieve that?
Policy analysis, research, science, communication.
Okay.
They need to stay informed about the trends.
Right.
They assess the impact of the policy decisions, and they communicate complex issues to policymakers and the public.
So they're really bridging that gap between science and policy,
Yes.
making sure that what the NSF is doing is aligned with those priorities.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the Office of Inspector General.
Okay.
Now, they have a very different role,
Very different.
but an equally important role.
yes.
What is it that they do?
Accountability.
Okay.
They're the watchdogs,
Okay.
making sure that everything's running efficiently, effectively, and ethically.
So they keep everyone honest,
They do.
make sure those taxpayer dollars are being used wisely,
That's right.
and that the NSF is upholding the highest standards.
Absolutely.
What kind of expertise would be helpful for them?
They need compliance, risk management, forensic accounting. Okay? You know, they need people who can help them identify those potential risks, conduct investigations, and make sure that everything is transparent.
So it's like having this team of detectives
Yeah.
uncovering potential issues, safeguarding the integrity of the whole organization.
I like that analogy.
We've talked about all these internal offices, and it's amazing how much goes on behind the scenes to really support that mission.
There's a lot happening.
Now, let's switch gears one more time and talk about the directorates.
Okay.
Now, each one focuses on a specific area of science.
Right. Each directorate is like a mini NSF. You know, funding research and education in a particular scientific domain.
Okay.
So you have the Directorate for Biological Sciences exploring all those mysteries of life.
Right?
Then you have the Directorate for Computer and Information Science and Engineering,
Oh,
pushing boundaries of computing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity.
it's a lot.
It is.
And then you've got the Directorate for Engineering, using those engineering principles to solve real-world problems.
Right.
So many different areas.
Yeah, developing sustainable infrastructure to advancing healthcare technologies.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling to think about all the stuff that's happening within the NSF.
It's exciting, though.
It is.
A lot of cool stuff.
And each directorate has its own unique set of needs and challenges.
Yeah.
So can you give us just a few quick examples of how businesses can partner with them?
Sure. So let's take the Directorate for Biological Sciences. Okay.
They might need support with managing those grant proposals.
Okay.
They might need help with organizing conferences, analyzing huge data sets, communicating research findings.
Okay.
To the public, they might need expertise in specific areas of biological research, like genomics, ecology, evolutionary biology.
So if you have experience in, let's say, scientific communications or data analysis, you could be a great partner for that directorate.
Absolutely.
What about the Directorate for Computer and Information Science and Engineering?
That is a fast-moving field, always evolving.
Right.
They need partners who can help them stay ahead of the curve.
Okay.
So software development, data science, cybersecurity, the ethical implications of AI.
Wow. It's incredible how businesses can play such a crucial role in all of this.
It really is.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
From the NSF's mission to the needs of its offices and directorates, listener. I hope you're feeling as inspired as I am.
I am.
By all of this.
It's exciting.
There's so much opportunity here. It's a lot to take in, but now you have a really good understanding of the landscape, and it's time to take action.
Yes.
Explore the areas that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Delve deeper.
Yeah.
Start crafting those compelling proposals.
And don't forget about the resources that are available.
Oh, yeah.
There are tools and services out there to help you through the process.
Definitely.
So take advantage of them. Increase your chances of success.
And you don't have to go it alone.
Right.
Reach out to the experts, connect with other businesses.
Yeah, collaborate.
Leverage all that knowledge and experience.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Unite BPA, I just want to leave you with a final thought.
Right.
Now that you have the insights and strategies, how will you contribute to those groundbreaking scientific advancements while growing your business? The possibilities really are endless.